Here's the issue. Like, there's a reason why Gen X and millennials and Zoomers don't care about the Holocaust. It isn't because we're insensitive, cold-hearted people. No, indeed it is not. It's because we're looking at a future where we have to compete with China. Do you understand? And China isn't spending money on memorials for the Holocaust in the United States where the Holocaust didn't occur. Like, we didn't have concentration camps for Jewish people in the United States. We had concentration camps for Japanese and Germans here in the United States. And you don't see any, memorials for Germans being put up in the United States for reasons, because that's not necessarily what we're into doing. And the reason why we're not into doing that is because it's a waste of time. We put memorials up for people who die in wars that shouldn't have happened, like Vietnam, with big, huge wall, 65,000 names on it, big, huge wall. We've got one going up for Afghanistan and Iraq as well. Big memorials, we got all this stuff going up. We don't generally put memorials up for stuff that didn't occur to other people that aren't American. We don't do that. That's not our thing. The Holocaust Museum should be paid for by Israelis, not us, because it didn't occur here, it didn't occur to us. Sure, we don't want to do that. The reason why we don't want to do that is because we have to compete with two countries that have populations 3 to 4 or even close to 5 times as large as ours, who have the industrial capacity we can't even compete with at this point because we simply don't have enough people with the skill sets. We don't need more people cutting grass, okay? We don't need more people that can cut grass. We don't need more people that can pick vegetables. We don't need that. We've got plenty of people that have hands and feet that can pick vegetables. And it's not a matter of, no, you don't want to do that. It's, no, I don't need to do that because I could build a machine that does it faster than the guy with the hands and the feet and way cheaper. There's no reason why I'm keeping this guy around to pick my radishes when I don't have radishes in the first place. And yes, those are radishes. There's no way those are beets this late in the season, for one thing. And if they are beets, I must be illiterate, blind, and retarded myself. And these are all very likely things. I could be retarded and not know it because retards don't know they're retarded, as I've said before in the past. We don't want to spend money on it. I don't. I don't want to spend money on pet projects from people from a generation that I'm like 30 years removed from. I don't have any connection to that land. I don't have any connection to any of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I have no conflict with anything over there. I have so much no conflict that I don't even want to be involved with anybody from that part of the world. I don't even want to interact with them. I know Palestinians. I know actual Palestinians that came here as refugees like 20 years ago. She was a little kid when she came here. And I don't even interact with her. Not because I don't like Palestinians, it's because I'm not involved in the conflict. I'm not involved in this conversation going on with any of this stuff. Nobody is. You don't see it. You see every once in a while some far left, preacher will come out and say, "Hey, you got to do this. Your children suffering." Man, your children suffering in the United States. We have children being trafficked by illegal organizations here in the United States. And the number of children that go missing in the United States is higher than it should be. It should not be as high as it is. I quoted 300,000 once, and that is accurate. 300,000 children get reported missing every year, whether or not they're all actually permanently missing or not. Some of them get discovered and found again. Luckily, happily, they get found again. But, this is not a conversation we need to be having as a country because, again, this is not Israel. This is not Palestine. This is not Gaza. We're not in the Sudan. We're not in Somalia, okay? We're not in all these other different countries. And we could what if and special interest group with foreign countries forever. There's 190 of them or something like that, 192 or 200 other different countries. We're never going to get anything done in the United States if all we do is sit here and wait for the next special interest group to grab the media's attention and drag us back into a conversation that is not America first. Do you understand? We need to stop this. We need to focus. Like, I have no issue focusing. I don't pay attention to those people. I don't pay attention to the mainstream news. I don't care about trans people. I don't care about your gay rights. Do you understand? I care about the $38 trillion in debt that's only going up. I care about the mortgage-backed securities being a problem again because guess what? They're coming back. It's coming back. 2008 didn't fix anything. The 2009 bill didn't fix anything. This problem is coming back. It's going to be a problem again. We're going to see it again. There's nothing anybody can do. We're going to have to bail people out again. We never should have bailed them out in the first place. Nobody should get bailed out. They should just be let collapse. And so we can pick up what's left, throw away the garbage, and be done with this mess. It has to go away. We have no chance of doing anything about it. And if there's somebody that's in that age group that is, going to get all up in my face about this story of World War II. Look, my grandfather fought in World War II. He lost 2 brothers. Big old L on your forehead, man. Just put it right there. Let me put this on your forehead. There you go. Big old L on your forehead. I got 2 names on a memorial over here that died in the Pacific. Both of them are Marines. OURS is the last name. That's my mother's maiden name. And that's just that side of the family. The other side of the family is almost non-existent now because we lost people in Europe. And by we lost people in Europe, I lost a lot of family members in Europe during World War II because communists don't care and they murder everybody they can. The Soviets were not very kind to my family. I lost a lot of family. And this is including before Adolf Hitler took power. They were killing my family members. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about that stuff because it doesn't matter to any of us. None of us. Literally none of us. Some of us are GWOT veterans, including myself. I didn't get deployed. I didn't see combat. But the rest of us that did see combat and are GWOT veterans can sit back and look back and say, hey, we shouldn't be doing that. That's probably not a good idea because hindsight's that 2020 vision. I can look back and say, yeah, let's not get entangled in any kind of undeclared wars in the first place. Definitely shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be letting the administration do it either. We shouldn't be letting anybody go to war for anything that's not a directed police action. And we definitely should not get involved in a Quagmire-style police action like Vietnam. We never should put boots on ground. We should just do interdiction because, well, that's a lot cost more cost effective. That's cheaper. Interdiction is a real thing. We can do that. It's in international waters, and it's not boots on the ground. It's not 65,000. Okay, so we're looking at more modern solutions to a more modern problem. We don't have problems that interact with Israel. I don't know why this is a problem with these people. They still keep coming back and saying that we have a problem with this. If you're one of these Holocaust people, that's your problem. Okay, the Holocaust is not my problem. Okay, you're gonna get upset. You're gonna feel terrible about it. It's not my problem, man. I was born in 1980, okay? As a white man, I don't owe you anything, okay? Say white. I don't owe you anything. I have members of my family that are married Jewish people. I don't owe them anything, okay? There's no obligation there. There's no social obligation. I understand you might feel terrible about it. You might feel terrible the world forgot you. Guess what? That's how it goes. That's how the world is, okay? The world does that. It moves on. We need to move forward. We're done, okay? The conversation's over. Stop bringing it up. And if you're like Piers Morgan, Pierce, we're trying to move forward here. We're trying to progress society past this, ugh, angry, ugh, club, beat white, ugh, beat Palestinian, ugh, beat Muslim. I mean, I don't care for the Muslims either. I think the culture is abhorrent, but, I don't want to go out of my way to go, ugh, beat Muslim. Let's get people riled up and beat Muslims. Oh, German Nazi, bad German, ugh. Because that's all that Nazi talk and all that Holocaust does is get people riled up. Let's go beat up Nazis. And we had this whole Antifa problem. If you're not quite comprehending and understanding, we had this entire Antifa program, yeah, right? Yeah, because we're Polish now, we're running programs. We had this Antifa problem going on, and they had to get declared a terrorist organization to get them to stop because they were legitimately terrorizing people, myself included. They were legitimately attacking us. They were stealing from us. They were doing all kinds of fucked up stuff. They were saying Bastafash. They were attacking us physically. They were doxing us. Like, we couldn't operate in the real world because doxing is like where they say all this stuff about you. They get somebody riled up to want to attack you. And then they tell that person where you're at, so where they can find you, so they can come over there. They can stab you, they can beat you up, they can ruin your life or ruin your day or make your hospital bill get up to like $50,000 or $60,000 because I cut a freaking slot in your head like you were a coin machine in a piggy bank. And you need to stop, because the whole reason this whole Antifa thing started was because a bunch of people committing to Hasbara were going around saying that the white people were going around and organizing as neo-Nazis because of some guy from Ohio who we're pretty sure got murdered in the process of this Antifa coming out of the woodwork while we were trying to get rid of them at the same time, because it was very obvious that they were going out of their way to orchestrate things in the underground to sabotage the lives of people because they were white. That much is blatantly obvious that they were clearly doing that, and they're clearly involved in doing that. There's clearly other people who were aligned with Antifa that are still actively doing that. We have to deal with this problem one step at a time, and you're not helping by dragging this World War II crap out, because all it does is make people want to go, bash, and the fash is just a white guy. A guy got beat up last year and they called him a fascist. They jumped him and beat him up. A bunch of black kids did. They called him a fascist and they beat him up for Antifa. And it turns out it was just a white guy going shopping with his kid. And why did he get beat up and jumped for going shopping with his kid? Because, Piers Morgan, people like you won't shut the fuck up about shit that has nothing to do with anything to do with today. Why did Antifa reappear in 2004 again after being gone for like 60 years? Because everybody was freaking out that there might be Nazis again. I remember in the late 90s, I don't know if you really know much about the internet, but in the late 90s and early 2000s, everybody on the internet was saying that Bill Gates was a Nazi. Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer was a Nazi. Steve Ballmer, for any of you who have not met Steve Ballmer, he is the nicest man I have ever met in my life. This dude is the kindest, most compassionate human being I've ever met. I can imagine he's probably absolutely ruthless in the business world, but my interaction with him was very pleasant. He was a very nice man, extremely compassionate. He expressed a lot of interest in the crypto community circles and cryptocurrencies and stuff, which is what I was working on at that time. But anyways, back to, so Gates and Ballmer were being called Nazi on the internet. We had to deal with, I got called Nazi on the internet by these same people who are involved with Antifa. And they keep lists, by the way. These people have lists. If you don't quite comprehend what that means, they pass a list around, and when somebody moves, like when I moved from one city to another, there's already somebody in that other city that's affiliated with their Antifa branches they'll have like my address, my phone number, my IP address when I get my internet connected. They'll have what brand of TV I choose to buy when I get there, if I buy a new TV. Like, they have all this stuff written down. If they have malware installed on any of your devices, they pass off the passcode and the whatever to that malware so they can screw with your life while you're there. That's how bad and insidious these people are. And yes, they install malware and pass around passwords. And they call it permanent. So you're a permanent underclassman, because the only reason they're doing it is to prevent you from graduating college. So you're permanently a blue-collar person. Because in the Antifa people's mind, if you're a blue-collar person, you have to marry down a race. Do you understand? That's their philosophy. If you're a white person and you don't get a college degree, you have to marry like a Mexican girl or a black girl. They're literally doing it to commit genocide. You're enabling genocide by bringing up stuff that has nothing to do with us, and we're getting attacked for it. So I'd appreciate, Mr. Pierce Morgan, if you'd stop bringing it up. That was the point Nick was trying to make, is it has nothing to do with us and we don't want to hear about it, because all you do is talk about something from 80 years ago and it's ruining our lives with you getting sponsors and having television time talking about it. You're ruining our lives. We don't care. Shut up.